Bienvenidos! Welcome to Spain on Fork. In today's episode, which is the last show of 2019, we're going to be making 10 very simple yet super delicious Spanish tapas that are made with just 3 ingredients, guys. All these tapas have a beautiful Spanish flavor and they're effortless to make. This is going to be epic. No, this is going to be more than epic. This is going to be huge. Now, to make a couple of these recipes, I am going to be using an olive oil from Apollo. This is their Miller's favorite organic extra virgin olive. This is such a delicious olive oil. It's going to add a beautiful flavor to the tapas we're going to use it. And guys, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite olive oils. Get yourself a bottle of this. Link in the description box below. Before we get started, I'm going to cut a couple baguettes into diagonal slices that are 1 inch thick and then lightly toast them in the oven. The way we're going to be serving these tapas today is on top of a piece of bread like they do in tapas bars in Spain. So the bread is not going to be included as an ingredient, neither is salt and pepper. For our first tapas dish, we're going to be using some smoked salmon, some cream cheese, and some fresh chives. Guys, this is such an insanely delicious tapas dish, loaded with so many flavors, so easy to make, and using 3 very simple ingredients. I'm going to begin by spreading the cream cheese on a couple pieces of toast, adding a couple chives on top of each one, then grab a slice of smoked salmon, cut it into 3 evenly sized pieces, and roll each one up. And our first tapas dish is done. Look how easy this was to put together. The flavors here are insanely delicious. You got that smokiness from the salmon, but that cream cheese, like, it kind of smooths it all out. Beautiful flavors, easy to make. This one's gonna be a huge hit. For our second Spanish tapas dish, we're going to be using some Spanish tuna, 1 fresh tomato, and some canned Spanish olives, guys. These are all essential ingredients in the Spanish kitchen. This tapa right here is loaded with so many Spanish flavors, so easy to make, it's going to blow you away. I'm going to begin by draining the oil from 2 tins of tuna. I love adding it into a sieve with a bowl underneath for an easy cleanup. And I'm going to evenly divide the tuna into a couple pieces of bread. Then I'm going to grab the fresh tomato and cut it into thin slices. And then cut the slices in half. And add a half slice of tomato on top of the tuna. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to pierce a couple olives with toothpicks and add them on top of the tuna and the tomatoes. And check it out, guys, our second Spanish tapas dish is done. This right here is one of the most popular tapas dishes here in Spain. You got that beautiful Spanish tuna, the sweetness from tomato, and the saltiness from that beautiful Spanish olive. An incredible combination of flavors, so easy to make, done within minutes. For our third Spanish tapas dish, we're making one of the most classic Spanish tapas using just simple ingredients, tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. This is called pan con tomate here. Insanely delicious. You're gonna get hooked on this. So easy to make, it's gonna blow you away. I'm gonna begin by removing the skins from each clove of garlic. And then I'm gonna rub that raw garlic over a couple pieces of toast. Make sure you cover the entire surface. Then I'm going to cut our tomato in half and rub the tomato all over each piece of bread. We'll lightly season each one with sea salt and drizzle in a kiss of extra virgin olive oil. There is no way that our third tapas dish is already done. This was way too simple, guys. I know this seems very simple and easy, but this right here promises to be one of the best things you've ever eaten. You got the beautiful tomato, that garlic that just gives it an explosion of flavors, and a good quality extra virgin oil. All these combined, one of the best things you'll eat. Pan con tomate, insanely delicious. Moving on to our fourth Spanish tapas dish, we're going to be using some tinned Spanish anchovies, a fresh tomato, and some fresh garlic. Again, guys, these are essential ingredients in the Spanish kitchen, but again, when you combine these 3 ingredients together, it's an explosion of flavors. This one is going to knock your socks off. I'm going to begin by rubbing the raw garlic over a couple pieces of toast. Again, guys, make sure you cover the entire surface. Then I'm going to grab the tomato and cut it into thin slices. Once again, cut them in half and add a half slice of tomato on top of each piece of bread. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to grab the Spanish anchovies and add 2 anchovies on top of each piece of bread. And our fourth tapas dish is done again, guys. Very simple and effortless to put together, but this is an insane combination of flavors. You got that saltiness from those beautiful anchovies, that zing from the raw garlic, and that tomato that adds a bit of sweetness. Beautiful balance of flavors, insanely delicious. You will never enjoy anchovies better than this. For our fifth Spanish tapas dish, I'm going to be using some Spanish manchego cheese, some rosemary, and some extra virgin olive oil. Again, very simple ingredients, but the three of these combined together adds for an explosion of flavors. The queso manchego that I am using is the mild version, but you can use whichever one you like. I'm going to begin by de-rinding the queso manchego, and then cutting it into slices that are 1/4 inch thick. Then I'm going to add 1 slice of queso manchego on top of each piece of toast. Then I'm going to drizzle a kiss of extra virgin olive oil on top of the cheese. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to remove the needles from the stem from the rosemary. The best way to do this, just go against the grain. Roughly chop the rosemary and sprinkle it over the cheese. And that easily, our fifth Spanish tapas dish is done, guys. Beautiful flavors. You got the queso manchego, the rosemary, and the extra virgin olive oil. Again, this is one of the tapas dishes that you'll find in almost every tapas bar in Spain. Loaded with so many flavors, so easy to make. This one is going to be one of the biggest hits. Rolling on to our sixth Spanish tapa, once again we're going to be featuring queso manchego, but this time with strawberry jam and with some walnuts. This is a sweet and savory tapas dish loaded with a beautiful bounty of flavors. So simple, it is going to blow your mind. I'm going to begin by adding 1 slice of queso manchego that we previously cut in the last tapas on top of each piece of bread. Add a dollop of the strawberry jam on top of the cheese. Again, guys, use a good quality strawberry jam. And add a walnut on top of the jam. And our sixth Spanish tapas dish is done. I know, this one was way too easy to make, but seriously, sweet and savory, beautiful combination of flavors. This is right up my alley. Serve this one at your next tapas party and everybody's gonna go wild. For our seventh Spanish tapas dish, we're going to be featuring some goat cheese, some dates, and some rosemary, guys. The combination of these three ingredients together is an explosion of flavors that is above and beyond the mind. This one is so easy to make, and again, this one's going to be a huge hit. I'm going to begin by spreading the goat cheese on a couple pieces of bread. Be generous here, guys. Next up, I'm going to grab the dates and roughly chop them. These are already pitted. I like to cut each one in half and then give them a rough chop. And we'll sprinkle the chopped dates on top of the goat cheese. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to sprinkle some freshly chopped rosemary on top of the goat cheese and the dates. Ladies and gentlemen, our seventh tapas dish is done. This one right here is possibly my favorite one of them all. Seriously, we're talking an explosion of flavors, sweet and savory, insanely delicious, so easy to make. Another one that's gonna be a huge hit. For our eighth Spanish tapas dish, guys, we are almost done here. We're gonna be featuring some jarred roasted red peppers, some fresh basil, and some extra virgin olive oil. The combination of these three very simple ingredients create an explosion of flavors. This one is vegan, so you can serve this one to just about anyone. I'm going to begin by grabbing a couple of the jarred roasted red bell peppers and cutting each one in half. And add 1 piece of the cut roasted red bell pepper on top of each piece of toast. And sprinkle a little sea salt on top of the roasted peppers. This brings out the flavors in them. Then I'm going to drizzle a kiss of extra virgin olive oil on top. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to grab a couple of the fresh basil leaves and stack them from largest in the bottom to smallest on top. And then tightly roll it like a cigar. And roughly chop the basil. And we'll sprinkle the basil on top of the roasted bell peppers. And voila, our eighth Spanish tapas dish is done, guys. Insane amount of flavor, very basic and simple ingredients. This one right here is naturally vegan, so everybody can enjoy it, but the flavors promise to be one of the best things you've ever tasted. Moving on, we are in our 9th and almost final Spanish tapas dish. Again, we're going to be featuring jarred roasted peppers, but this time with goat cheese and with fresh chives. Beautiful combination of flavors, and again, very simple ingredients, guys. All of these tapas have very simple ingredients, but when you combine each of these ingredients together, it creates an explosion of flavors. This tapa right here is going to blow you away. Once again, I'm going to begin by spraying the goat cheese on a couple pieces of toast. I'm going to grab a jarred roasted red bell pepper and cut it into thin strips. Add 2 strips of the roasted peppers on top of each toast. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to grab our fresh chives and finely chop them. And sprinkle a generous portion of the freshly chopped chives on top of each toast. And oh my goodness, our 9th Spanish tapas dish is done. Again, guys, so easy to make, but the combination of flavors are insane. You got that beautiful goat cheese, the sweetness from the roasted peppers, and then those fresh chives just take this to the next level. Insanely delicious, so easy to make, done within minutes. And just like that, we are on our 10th and final Spanish tapas dish, guys. We have saved the best for last. This one features some tinned Spanish tuna, some mayonnaise, and some hard-boiled eggs. We're gonna combine all these ingredients together to create a Spanish tuna salad that is gonna blow you away. Once again, we're gonna begin by removing the oil from the tin of tuna. Like I told you guys earlier, I like to add it to a sieve with a bowl underneath for an easy cleanup. And then add the drained tuna into a large bowl. Next up, I'm going to grab one of the hard-boiled eggs and roughly chop it. I like to cut the egg in half. And then each half in 3 evenly sized pieces. And give it a rough chop. And we'll add our roughly chopped eggs into the bowl with the tuna. Then I'm going to grab between 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise and add it into the bowl. And season everything with sea salt, freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm going to mix this together until everything's well combined. Once you have your tuna salad mixed, I'm going to evenly divide this into a couple pieces of toast. And that's it, guys. Our 10th and final Spanish tapas dish is done. This Spanish tuna salad is insanely delicious. So popular here in Spain. Serve this one at your next party and people are gonna go bazookas. Okay guys, all 10 of our Spanish tapas are done. Seriously, look how beautiful all these came out. So easy to make, loaded with Spanish flavors, using just 3 ingredients in each one. Serve these at your next holiday party or family get together and everybody's gonna go crazy. Really quick before I go, I'd like to give out a special shout out to all my patrons. Thank you all so much. If it wouldn't be for you guys in 2019, none of this would be possible. I truly love you and appreciate each and every single one of you. For the rest of you, if you want to support Spain on Fork on Patreon, helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this for 2020, you'll find that link in the description box below and that card above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.